I made the decision to open up that shop. 197 square feet. Imagine me in 197 square feet. And part of that was a little back room.
And that's equipment.
All my
that's
machines.
That's a workspace. You need,
the machines,
you need a table, probably.
Right there on the table would roll outside my shop and sit in the hallway, and people would see them work.
Oh. You expanded.
So they would just stand there and watch what I was doing. That's what started the business.
How do you run a business, a for-profit business, as a nonprofit, and where the product is the help? That's what we talk about today with Tammy Shourds at the Compass Rose. And this is the Voices of the Wind podcast. My name is Maverick.
And I am Toby Lyles. Maverick is my esteemed son. When we swap it around, I can't say esteemed son. Got to throw it in. Yeah. Hey, we have Edge Flight as a sponsor today. Edge Flight is pioneering affordable, high-performance research equipment for aerospace, education, and research applications. So, as I've said, my favorite thing about Edge Flight is that they're going straight to the edge of space. Yeah. I mean, they're making microsatellites here. They are. We watched as Edge Flight helped a bunch of kids send stuff up into the edge of space. I didn't get that when I was a kid.
No.
I think that's incredible. Yeah. You didn't either.
No.
So anyway, incredible story to their business. What they're doing is also making an impact, just like Tammy Shourds of Compass Rose.
I was happily retired.
So you retired military?
For 14 years. I went around the country, did volunteer work. That's how I got to Mexico.
Okay.
Embroidery was the only thing I ever missed. I've done a million different things. And embroidery was the only one I missed. So when I got here, I bought a machine, put it in my RV. Baby one was my machine that was in the RV.
Okay.
And I was working at the commissary because they didn't have enough workers. And I lived there. And my friends kept saying, you got to open a shop down there. And it's like, no, you know how expensive, crazy it is? It's not at the base. You don't pay for rent. You pay 15% of your profits.
Okay.
And I went, okay. And I did. I thought I could do both jobs. It lasted about a week.
Okay, so you're working a full-time job.
Mm-hmm. And then I was starting to run the business.
Okay.
But it was little.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I didn't know what Frontier Days was.
So you just moved in.
I didn't know. The Navy came in first. Mm-hmm. And he handed me this design and says, can you put this on 60 shirts? 66 shirts.
Wow.
And I went, okay. And then the Air Force came in. And then the National Guard came in. They were hard. They were Paisley. Paisley's not good to wear with embroidery. You know what Paisley is?
Isn't it that curly thing?
Yeah, you try to put embroidery on that, it gets lost. So we had to work really hard with the National Guard. But you know what? They knew I was retired military, so they anticipated that I was going to be a grumpy old boatmate, and I am.
Okay.
And when I came out here, they wanted me to change. I can't change. I'm 60 years old. So I'm a grumpy old boatmate here too.
There you go. Yeah. You're in an RV in Colorado, and then you drive your RV up to Wyoming.
And I know that F.E. Warren had Fam Camp, which is their RV park.
Okay.
And I pulled in, blew my transmission.
Oh.
I got towed from a parking lot into my space because I already paid for my space.
So for some reason you drive to Wyoming, and now you're on F.E. Warren Air Force Base, just living in your RV.
Yes. Going shopping at the commissary.
Okay.
But there's no food because they don't have any workers. The food is in the back. And I went in and applied. It's hard to apply for a government job. It takes a long time. And when they hired me, it wasn't to put stuff on the shelves. It was to be their bean counter. I did financials. It's not what I do.
Okay.
But I know how to add and subtract, so I'm all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did a lot there. And then I made the decision to open up that shop. 197 square feet. We're sitting right now in 1,500 square feet. Imagine me in 197 square feet. And part of that was a little back room.
And that's equipment.
All my
that's
machines.
That's a workspace. You need a table, probably.
Right there on the table, would roll outside my shop and sit in the hallway, and people would see them work.
Oh, you expanded.
So they would just stand there and watch what I was doing. That's what started the business. When I moved in here, those machines were up there by the window. The problem is, I have my hands inside a hat hoop, and it's doing this. Someone knocks on the window, and I turn.
Oh, jeez.
And I put a needle in this finger, I don't know how many times.
Oh, wow.
And I said, it's not worth it anymore. So we moved them back, and it hasn't changed. Everyone knows we're here now.
Yeah.
All the businesses know. The military knows. The recruiters over here know. So it's not like we have to advertise. And we don't advertise.
And when did you get the embroiderer?
I started embroidery in Fort Collins back in 2010.
Okay.
A friend of mine had an alteration shop.
Okay.
She brought her mother's embroidery machine that fit on that thing. It was huge. And it was a sewing machine too. She brought it and she goes, "Hey, let's do some embroidery." I went, "All right." In the Coast Guard, I could tie knots. Turns out, a one needle embroidery machine is not the greatest thing for a shop to do custom work in business.
Okay.
Because I had to do a horse head on the back of a denim jacket. It was 47 colors.
Wow.
47 colors.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the colors, I'm like, you put that on there? It's a green. And there was 97 color changes. Wow. So the machine would go, deet, 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 stop. And I'd have to read.
Oh, jeez.
Push the button, deet, 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 stop. I'm never doing this again. I said, no, we're not doing that. So we bought a brother that's just like my baby locks.
Okay.
And then we bought an old 4-needle Elna that was a workhorse that would do standalone lace for us. And then we bought another machine, and pretty soon embroidery was half of the shop. And I had to learn. I had to learn.
Commissary days.
Yeah, this was before, so I didn't do the commissary till 2020.
So that's 2012.
So 10 years of learning how to do embroidery.
Okay.
It's not easy.
I'll bet not.
Especially hats. You have to learn. I went through a lot of hats. I still go through a lot of hats.
How did you get started right off the bat? The first little shop, the first demand.
Me personally,
Yeah.
in F.E. Warren.
Yes.
I said my friend said, because I was making things for people at the commissary.
Oh. Okay.
And they were like, "Why don't you do this for a living?" I'm like, "No, I'm done with that."
So
I'm
you
like,
were just
"No."
giving gifts
I
to
was.
folks?
It was gifts.
Oh.
And people, the commissary would have me do retirement gifts for people.
Okay.
And they talked me into it. The guy that ran it, he was friends with my boss. So he came in and he says, "Hey, I hear you do embroidery." And so I went in and did it. And the woman that runs the mall said, "No, sorry, can't help you." So I went back, and he asked me a couple days later, "So how'd it go?" I said, "Yeah." She said she didn't have any room for me. He went, "What?" So he went back. I got a call. "Come on back and look at your new shop."
No.
And I was, working 12 hours a day. I was keeping up. If you came in, you'd get something the next day. And
12 hours a day.
Then it got ugly. I was limited to my hours because I had to leave when they closed down the BX at night. I had to be out.
Okay.
But then Jennifer came in. She was waiting for her daughter who needed to use the restroom.
Okay.
They were out riding bikes.
Okay.
And she can get on base, so they were riding bikes. And she walked up to me while I was on the outside playing with my machines. And she goes, "Do you digitize?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "What do you use?" And I told her. She goes, I just bought a machine and I want to learn." I said, "Well, come sit down. Anytime you want. Sit down and practice." She did. She never left. She started taking jobs immediately.
Okay.
Somebody would come in and go, "Hey, I've got this T-shirt quilt that my grandma made, and I used it to move furniture across a floor.
Oh.
There's a couple holes. Can you fix it?" And I looked at Jennifer, and she goes, "Yeah." Well, it was 108 holes. So we were marking them, and we made a little design in embroidery, and she would hoop that hole. The camera will find where it is, and it will stitch it. She'll pull it out, hoop the next hole, and hoop the next hole. I figured I lost her at that point. I thought for sure she was gone.
108 holes.
It was 108 holes in that. He destroyed that. It's a T-shirt quilts aren't meant to survive.
Yeah.
They're not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Jennifer makes great quilts. and they'll live forever, but not T-shirt quilts. But you know what? She went, you know what? People need us. They need us for things they don't even know they need yet. And so she kept working. And she had this little area. Her computer was on, we had such a small shop, her computer was on her lap most of the time. And then she brought a machine in. And then she bought a better machine. And it just went from there. So now this place does vinyl, sublimation, direct to film, military uniforms. She does pant hems for all the guys. It's a service.
It's a service
that both of us are able to do because we have money coming in.
Do you have a story that just stuck out of somebody who came in and was impacted by what you did?
There was a guy, and I haven't seen him here. I saw him here once, so he knows we're here. 80 years old. He came into my little shop, and he wanted this hat that said Ramp Rad. Well, I'm Coast Guard, not the Air Force. So I'm like, what's a Ramp Rad? And I started looking online, and we found a rat and had a ball cap. And I had to put some letter in there. I don't remember what it was. And he wanted 2 hats made exactly the same. Because when he was 18 years old, he was somewhere overseas with the Air Force. And he was a ramp rat. And this other 18-year-old kid, they became best friends. And now they're 80. Time is short now. And he wanted to give that guy the ramp hat. And it became emotional to him when he saw it. It's a funny looking, I mean, it shouldn't be emotional when you look at it. It's a funny looking rat. But it was very emotional because he went back to 18 and he remembered things. And that's what a lot of this stuff is. You're creating memories with embroidery because it lasts forever. But they tell stories.
I'll bet.
Because here you can sit all day and tell a story. That's why we put the chair there. You can sit down and talk to us about your military experience. My father was in World War II. I was his youngest child. He didn't tell anybody about World War II other than me. He held on to him tight. And we don't want you to hang on to it. We want you to tell stories. You tell stories. It's therapy to these guys to be able to tell the stories. There was a bombing, the Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia, something like maybe 93. It was the Air Force. But there was one Army mechanic that went with them. The towers were bombed. 19 died, 400 injured. It is a memory that these guys are living with every day. He was Army, not Air Force. It was like he didn't fit, even though he was part of them. He always felt like he wasn't part of the story. And he came in and he told me the story. We made him a hat that on the front had the logo of it was called Operation Desert Falcon. So we put that on the front. And on the side, we made a little patch that said, Khobar Towers, this date, Saudi Arabia, 19 dead, 400 wounded. And on the other side, we put his Army design that was on his MOS. And then on the back, we put his name. And then we sent it off to him. And the only time I've seen him since, he said, everybody asked me about the hat, and I get to tell him the story. And he started to feel like he was part of it. He had all of the pain, but he didn't feel like he could tell the story because he was in Air Force. And now he has a hat. Yeah. And he has the hat, and it took a long time to get it right because we kept trying some different designs, different ways, and he got his hat. And that's all that matters.
There's something cool about, for one, the way it's set up, it's very different than I think, any business I've ever seen. But I don't think there's something about starting a business where the business dealings you make is helping people, that is kind of what it's about. And I don't know, there's just something really cool about that, and helping veterans, I think that is just an area where I think it's really important to help. So I think found that really cool.
Yeah, she has incredible stories. You could talk to Tammy all day long about the impact that she's making among just making hats with labels and just we talked about earlier that she's validating some of their stories and even in as veterans. But she's, of course, just helping people and running it like it was a nonprofit. Like she's just here to do good, and please don't give her any more work because they're just too overwhelmed. I think that's a good place to be as a business as well. So anyway, maybe we all build good things. Until then, my friends, happy sailing.